But that is not that day, because we're playing Arknights. It is the only gacha game I play. Have I ever talked about this on camera? On YouTube? No. Well, not extensively, but long story short, I was a very intense gacha addict when I was a teenager. I played a pay-to-win gacha game called Cosmic Break, and it wasn't a very healthy time for me and my wallet, and I had to grow past that, and it's only been like a decade later when I'm an adult, and I have the functioning wrinkles of an actual adult and the self-control of one to actually jump back into a gacha game and not spend life savings on it. Well, back then I was a kid, so I only had my allowance, but I spent almost a total of $200 on Cosmic Break for pay-to-win stuff. That's a lot for a teenager, a 13-year-old, especially if you don't have any income. But anyway, Arknights is special to me because I fell in love with the story, the world building, and the characters. It's a gacha game, so by default it is predatory, manipulative, and it will try to wring you of your money like every other gacha game. Any gacha game addict, they'll tell you that there are free-to-play friendly gachas, or this one or that one is you could play for free, you don't need better characters. It's all bullshit. All gacha games are pay to win. Only addicts will deny that fact. But there are aspects of these games that make them worthwhile. Like the creatives that make the music, that write the stories for these worlds, that write these characters, that makes the art of these characters and the world. The creatives that make these games. And for this one in particular, I fell in love with Arknights. Because goddamn, look at my wife, Neryl. Sheesh! Let's see. I've been playing Arknights for about a year. I've been playing since February of last year. This is my account. I spent, what? Like maximum $30 on this game. That's it. $30, and then I stopped because I realized that you could basically play this game for free. For free, quote unquote. But of course, it's still gonna use its predatory tactics to try to get you to spend. I am not participating in this month's limited event because I do not care for the characters. The main character, Chongyue, this himbo of man, he reminds me too much of Jackie Chan in real life. And Jackie Chan is kind of an a-hole, so I don't like his character, I don't like his vibe, I don't like that he's based off a guy I don't like. So I'm not pulling for him. Lynn's just gonna be added to the standard pool, and she's pretty niche, to be honest. She's good in this event, but her niche is a bit out there for me. She's a caster that you could use as a tank to tank range damage. I have no use for her at the moment. She seems fun. Anyway, though, yeah, this is my account. The ones I have tagged are the ones I'm currently working on right now. I'm working to mastery 9 my horn. I'm working on bagpipes module. I'm working... What am I doing with Saria? Why is she here? Oh, I'm working on her other module. I love Saria. Saria was one of my first waifus. Scotty is here for some reason, because I want to mastery her. I just like mastering stuff. It's like a toolbox. You have a toolbox and you gotta get them ready for when you need them. I have never encountered an occasion in Arknights where I level up a character and somewhere along the line I always find a use for them somewhere. Somewhere along the line, I always find a use for them somewhere. And Neryl has been one of those. I thought Neryl would be kinda useless, but no, her second ability, her second redeployment ability, she is basically a permanent staple of my team. You don't read the lore, but you just like tower defense games. Of course. We could all enjoy Arknights in our own way. But for me specifically, I love the lore of this game, to be honest. I want to make a video. I have a video semi-written out. Like, I have 3 pages of a video essay written out about Arknights, which I have not gotten to doing. About basically the whole game. But mostly going into the story, and how the story is like... The story of Arknights is something you don't see in very many video games, especially high-budget AAA ones, because not only is it very political, not only is it very, very political, as in it touches upon lots of humanistic aspects. I feel like if the CCP paid more attention to the writing of Arknights, it could possibly be banned from China. Because there are so many moments in this game's story where I'm like, are they allowed to say that? Is this this is a Chinese game. Are they allowed to say that? Because once you get into the story of this game, you start seeing like the personal politics of the writers and how they infuse that with the story writing and the world building of Arknights. It doesn't feel like propaganda that's reinterpreted through the CCP filter, like other quote-unquote gacha games that we won't mention. Arknights feels very overtly political with something to say, and I love that about it. But also waifus and husbandos, to be frank. Anyway, this is my entire library. I have most of the 6 stars at E260 just for the modules. The ones at 90 are the ones that I use for DPS and defense. I love a lot of these operators and their stories. It's why I play the most. Also, Arknights is one of those gacha games where it doesn't play itself. It's actually a game which I value the fact that it's actually very challenging, and it requires gameplay and thinking. It doesn't play itself. Like, I quit Azure Lane like 2 weeks ago. I started Azure Lane just as a side gacha to Arknights because there was nothing happening. It was a content drought. But Azure Lane, it just doesn't have any gameplay. It plays itself. The story is so shallow and convoluted. The story is time-gated through time-limited events which happen rarely throughout the year. Characters are so shallow, but the designs are top-notch. The gear system is very fun in Azure Lane, but the game just plays itself. I had no way to get attached to anything in Azure Lane. Not the story, not the gameplay. The gearing was kind of fun, but once you have good gear, then you don't have to farm for anything anymore. You're just there to collect waifus. That's it. I'm the type of gamer that looks for substance. And Arknights is that for me.